Sam Moelis, last time we talked was Summer Nationals. You're now a month or so into your first year at Columbia. Tell us what's it feel like?
Columbia is just as hard as everybody thinks it is. But again, this is something that I'm very used to. You know, living about an hour and a half away from Brooklyn Bridge Fencing Club and my home on Long Island, my school on Long Island. I'm used to the commute by all this, you know, all the different kinds of transit, taking an hour and a half to get there and back, and being able to balance out all of my schoolwork.
What's been the most challenging component as far as making the transition?
As far as making the transition, I mean, the workload is a lot. You know, I went to a good high school, but the teachers really were good with catering to what I needed, and the professors at Columbia are definitely a little less tolerant in terms of absences and missing school for athletics in general. But it's really just the balancing the schoolwork has been the hardest part.
Now, of course, balancing that with fencing, you're walking on to a squad that's been very strong in the past. Adam Matthew and Harry Bergman, really strong fencers, both multiple-time All-Americans. Big shoes to fill.
Yeah.
But you got a great class of other foilists that I think have the goods to do it. Yeah. How are you feeling about your teammates?
Oh, my teammates are the best. You know, the dynamic at Columbia is so special because we're not a regular sports school where we have practice 5-6 days a week. You know, we have 2 Columbia practices a week plus a conditioning session, and it leaves less room for team bonding. And a majority of the fencers are going to other clubs like Brooklyn Bridge, FC, and Manhattan. And the fact that we can come together 2 or 3 days a week and still be the closest team, I believe, out of any NCAA fencing program, I think is incredible. And it comes from everybody understanding that everybody wants to individually get better, but come together and perform for the team.
Yeah, and of course, as you mentioned, it's not that Columbia just kind of like cuts corners and is doing 2 or 3 practices a week. Yeah. It's understanding and expecting that all the athletes are also getting in time at the other clubs.
Right, yeah. All the athletes on the Columbia fencing team really they want to get better. They really want to get better, and they know that to get better, they need to go out into these clubs in New York City and into Brooklyn and work with these high-level coaches, and that's exactly what they're doing.
And kind of the concept there, it's steel sharpens steel. It's finding the best sparring partners in the city. For you, in some instances, you have that right there in the Columbia room.
Yeah.
You know, you got Nolan Scruggs, who's now a sophomore.
Drew Johnston.
Yeah. Go on about like some of the new sparring partners that you have and your excitement for fencing them in practice.
Yeah, I mean, fencing in practice at Brooklyn Bridge, you know, Brooklyn Bridge is definitely the strongest fencers to train with, especially because they all know me so well. And I think that it makes it more difficult to fence because even if I do something right, the people that I'm fencing here have been fencing here for so long, they can kind of guess what I'm going to do. And it definitely requires me to change much more often. However, fencing with different people brings new stuff out of me. I'm not, you know, I don't fence Nolan Scruggs on a daily basis. I don't fence Drew Johnson on a daily basis. So being able to fence them now and finding I have to pull new tricks out of my bag and having to work with what they're throwing at me, it's really nice. And it's really nice to be able to, you know, work with these different people.
Now, of course, with the departure of both Harry and Adam, it leaves open the spot for NCAA qualification. It's really an open situation there. It's anybody's game. What do you think your odds are, and what are your expectations for this year?
Honestly, it's not about me. You know, as much as I'd love to go to NCAAs and be All-American, if Nolan or Drew or you know, James or anybody else in the team really performs the best of these NCAA competitions, they deserve to go to NCAA championships more than I do, represent Columbia, and bring back that 3rd title for us.
Third consecutive, to be
title.
Clear. All right, well, that March is a long ways away.
Yeah.
Where are you guys opening this season?
We're opening in November 5th, I believe, at University of Pennsylvania.
Oh, that's the like Elite 10 meter.
Yeah, I think that's when. I'm not exactly sure. I think our first match is against Ohio State.
Now, of course, going down to Penn, you have former teammate Willie Uppen. I know, is Duke there as well? Will you?
I'm not sure. I know UPenn. Well, I think UPenn will be there.
So you definitely will probably be fencing against Willie Uppen in an NCAA format.
Yeah.
What are you? How excited are you for that?
I'm really excited. You know, me and Willie and Owen Groening-Sater at Duke we've been joking for a long time that we're really excited to get at each other at these NCAA competitions. You know, it's one thing to run into each other at a NAC or a World Cup, but running into each other at these NCAA competitions, working with these 5-touch bouts is what we're really excited for.
All right, we look forward to it.
Thank you.